Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hello.
And the Lord of Puppies, SDA.
What's up?
And I'm your host, Scribbly, the Lord of One-Year-Olds. That didn't come out right.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
didn't come out right.
Yeah.
No, that came out right at all. So, how are you guys tonight? Even though I already know how you are because I asked you before the stream started. But for the rest of the audience, how are you?
I'm good.
I am wonderful.
Yay! We're all wonderful and good.
Mostly I'm wonderful because there's been a year of Scribe now.
Oh, yeah, you're some kind of wonderful. Well, we'll get to the glad handing and backslapping soon, and sooner or later. But first, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones movies. Hit that like button, and if you like what we do, if you don't like what we do, if you think we're mediocre, please share our stuff as much as possible and as wide as possible. Also,
I think real quick before you continue that thought, I think since it's your 1 year anniversary, it should be Scribe Dick.
Scribe Dick,
y'all.
Scribe Dick movies. Oh, sorry, just Scribe Dick Jim Jones movies.
There you go.
All
Just
right.
saying.
Scribe Dick. So we'll do this as a little ritual for the next couple of shows. At the top of the show and the bottom of the show, our schedule is changing as of next week. So beginning on Sunday, more or less, we're going to start taking Sunday off, and we're going to have a set pair of days in the rest of the week where we will host the show. So it's going to work like this. Sundays we are off unless, something earth-shattering happens otherwise. But then Monday and Thursdays will be on SDA's channel. Tuesdays and Fridays will be on my channel. And then Wednesdays and Saturdays we will be on Monkey's channel. And that will be the set static schedule for rotation going forward until we decide that either doesn't work, we're going to try something else. As far as guest nights, we're just going to rotate weeks. So on one of our shows, every third week or whatever, we'll do guest night for that host, and that's the plan for now.
And this is sort of like fitting with the theme of 1 year anniversaries. It's Bay and I's 1 year friendiversary.
Oh,
and like we've officially been like best friends for a year. So tomorrow morning we're having a book club with Bay on my channel at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And it'll obviously be book club, but with the added it's a 1 year friendiversary thing. So
I know those will be happening over the course of the stream, but just to get these out of the way, thank you, All You Need. Thank you, Joys of Sorrow. Thank you, Fernanda. Thank you, Backscan. Thank you, Lucky7. And everybody else who's wishing the anniversary deal today, either on Twitter or otherwise. I really appreciate it. Yes. What?
Do you remember when we became friends?
When we became friends?
Yes.
Yes. When you were scared, I was mad at you for doing a video that you did, or vice versa.
I feel like we should know our date.
Oh, our date.
Our date.
Oh, I am ashamed to say I don't know
Monkey,
the exact date.
I think you and I at least are in February, and then me and Scribe are like whenever the first time I streamed with you and Scribe was.
I feel like Scribe and Mai's love is at least as deep as yours and Mara's.
No,
probably deeper.
Way. No way.
You're already married, dude. I mean,
it's
Bay and I had a baby. Bay and I had a baby. Like you can't. I knocked her up.
We're men who do everything better.
I would say, like I say, I would mark the first time that we really had a conversation where we sort of bonded over that video that I did and then you did, but you didn't know I had already done it, and then we had that exchange where you felt all bad about it. That's sort of the first time that we had any interaction that went beyond sort of the surface stuff. So I'll go back. Right. I'll go back. So whenever your video came out, that day, as far as I'm concerned, is sort of like the beginning of our friendship. So if you find the date on that, we can call that our anniversary, our friendiversary.
Our friendiversary.
Friendiversary. But anyway, shall we do a little bit of schnews? And I'm not going to dwell too long on schnews because not a lot happened today.
We have to because of the one story.
Yes, we have to get to that, but I'll get through the important stuff first, and then we'll move on to the one story that is just I feel sort of bad. I was that much of a prognosticator about it, but we'll get there shortly. So first and foremost, the California fires sort of continue. Unfortunately, at this point, 21 people are confirmed as dead, and at least 500 are reported as missing. Firefighters battled deadly blazes in Northern California. Battling deadly blazes in Northern California faced a daunting challenge Wednesday. Winds picked back up, threatening to spread wildfires that have already killed 21 people, destroyed hundreds of buildings, and forced thousands of evacuations. Most of the fires were ignited Sunday, driven by winds up to 79 miles per hour and dry conditions. The winds died down early this week, but gusts of 20 to 40 miles per hour were seen Wednesday. The humidity was extremely low, and no rain is forecast for the next few days. More than 20,000 people have been ordered to evacuate as of Wednesday, and authorities are encouraging others to pack ready-to-go bags with documents and medicines in case they have to flee the fast-spreading flames on a moment's notice. And there's not much else to report, just like all the details of the devastation. If you see the photographs of the landscape in these places, it's it looks like a nuclear bomb went off. It's just nothing but ash, streets and streets of nothing but ash. And it's just awful. And, the weather. Now, I haven't heard yet what started these things. Have you guys?
No. I never do, though.
No, isn't it? Well, I mean, because sometimes it's just, it's a dry climate and forest fires happen.
Yes.
Or wildfires happen, however you want to put it. So I guess we'll just see. I mean, there might not be a distinct outside cause other than...
Right.
I mean, it could be as simple as there was a storm and oops, or,
Yeah, and they are happening up and down the state. So, yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I hope none of them were somehow intentionally set. That's all I gotta say, because we've seen that before too, and that's... But anyway, so that's ongoing. I can only hope that things calm down soon for those guys. Thank you, Sanguine. In honor of your anniversary, a Moon Poon and Stoned Age time-traveling crossover. Oh, boy. Okay. I will take that down, Sanguine.
Time-traveling Moon Poon.
Time-traveling Moon Poon. Oh, Moon Poon. My better inventions. Thank you, Sanguine, so much. Thank you, Lady Monkey. My first ever super chat, and I saved it all for you, Scribe. Thank you, Lady Monkey. What would you like your ad to be? I can only guess. Well, actually, I have no idea. It's probably something to do with, like, nipple torture or something, but by all means, let me know. Okay, so that natural disaster of the week out of the way. It's kind of depressing we keep having those. North Korea, real quick. The North Korean foreign minister says Trump has lit the wick of war. It's probably just more rhetoric, but I'll go through a couple paragraphs. U.S. President Donald Trump has lit the wick of war against North Korea, a Russian state news agency quoted North Korea's foreign minister as saying on Wednesday. The statement follows weeks of escalating tensions between North Korea and the United States, fueled by Pyongyang's repeated nuclear tests and Trump's tough talk. Speaking to Russia's state-run TASS news agency, North Korea's foreign minister Ri Yong-ho cited Trump's September speech to the United Nations General Assembly in New York as the tipping point. Quote, by his bellicose and insane statement in the UN arena, Trump, it can be said, lit the wick of war against us, Ri is quoted as saying. We need to settle the final score only with a hail of fire, not words.
That's how dire the situation is over there in North Korea. They don't have a fuse for war. They have a wick. It's just a candle.
Thank you, Lady Monkey. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You got to read it.
Oh, sorry. No ad needed. Spending my evenings with you all is enough for me. It was my anniversary gift.
Oh.
You know what?
Otherwise, it just sounds like you're thanking random people for no reason.
Here's the thing, though. I feel compelled, and I'll do something. I'm gonna make a ad just for Lady Monkey. I don't, and it won't be. I don't know what it'll be about. It might be complimentary. It might be tongue in cheek. We'll see. I'll think about it tomorrow. Yeah. So anyway, North Korea can't afford a fuse. They can't afford a flashlight, so they have a wick, because they're on Coleman lamps over there right now. Okay. Well. All of that is basically preamble, because the real big story we want to cover. Remind me, Monkey, what was it that I said I was wondering the time frame of last night as far as like events in regards to Harvey Weinstein?
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
He was going to do a dead himself.
That's what I predicted. Thank you, TOS. Happy birthday, Scribe. Relax, no ad for this. Oh, you guys are just... So, Ranting Monkey, no ad. I suck at planning, so this is more of a sorry. I'm not as good at. Guys, it's I was gonna wait to get all sentimental till later, but I'll talk about death first. That's fine. We can talk about death.
Yeah, let's do death and then get sentimental.
Do you want to talk about how great we are, or do we want to talk about self-deading?
Well, so last night after Harvey Weinstein, so as a brief capsule. After decades, apparently, of quote-unquote bad behavior, Harvey Weinstein was outed in apparently one of the worst-kept secrets in Hollywood, depending on who you ask, of being a sexual predator of actresses and other females in the industry and so on. All these starlets and megastars have come out in the interim, quoting their own experiences with him trying to grab them or kiss them or rape them. So not only was he fired from his own company, his family name is going to be taken off of the company. His own name is going to be removed from shows in production that have his name on them. And also yesterday, his wife dumped him. And so my prediction last night was, gosh, I wonder how long it's going to be till he decides to kill himself. Well, You didn't have to wait more than about 24 hours because, according to TMZ, Harvey Weinstein, suicide threat prompts police response. Harvey Weinstein's daughter called 911 to say her dad was suicidal Wednesday morning, and police responded. According to law enforcement, Weinstein was at his 22-year-old daughter's Remy's place when their argument spilled out onto the street. We're told Harvey yelled at her, "You're making it worse," and then flagged down a random vehicle driving past begging for a ride. We're told Remy convinced her father to go back into the house, and shortly thereafter, around 10:30 a.m., LAPD and her alarm company showed up. Law enforcement sources confirmed officers responded to a call from Remy, who said her father was suicidal and depressed. When they arrived, Harvey had already left the home. We're told when officers arrived, Remy told them no suicidal statements were made, and it was purely a family dispute. Okay. As of now, we're told Weinstein is still in LA, but planning to fly out of town, possibly to a rehab center before day's end. So he may or may not have threatened suicide. Oh, thank you, Ms. Slim. Again, happy anniversary, Scribe. No ad needed. Buy something nice with this German money. You mean blood money? No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much, Ms. Slim. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You guys are too nice to me. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
In relation to the story, Drudge is reporting, and this is coming from the Daily Mail, actually, that the Justice Department is opening a file on this. They're worried that he's going to pull a Polanski.
Oh, he's going to flee the country?
Yeah. No, I don't understand what that had to do with the suicide thing, but that's how it's presented in both spots. Well,
here's the thing, though. So far as I know, he hasn't actually been charged with a crime. This is all PR fallout from allegations that, save for people saying it, have not been substantiated in a court of law. So the Justice Department opening up a file seems a little bit premature.
Well, the other thing about it is that given all the lawsuits that he's had in the past, and like I said, if you actually look into some of these case-by-case things where they've actually had somebody go in to talk to him with a wire and stuff like that, this isn't a new thing in his life. I mean, it's a new thing as far as how public it is.
Yeah, that's
but the consequences of these actions have been ongoing, it seems like, for the past several years. So
But see, I would argue there haven't been consequences. I mean,
No.
he's obviously settled with people, which means some got money, but he's not like broke because of it.
No.
Right. Well, nor will he be either. It doesn't look like.
No, I
No,
mean, well, his wife is going to take him for millions and millions of dollars, and so child support and everything else. But now I mean, he has had court cases, but he's settled. And however you agree with that process of sort of making people go quiet, they agreed to take the money or whatever else happened. So that's beside the point. But all these other accusations and everything else, that's all they are at this point.
Yeah, he's not facing any criminal charges yet.
Not yet. And now it's possible that he might. Oh, thank you, Lady Monkey. Grand Monkey could not be here tonight, but she wanted to send you a little gift as well. She loves presents. Oh, thank you, Lady Monkey. I should do an ad for Grand Monkey. I don't know what that should be, but I'll figure that out. And these will be projects going forward.
The other thing, your prognosticative powers were also on display as we saw Ben Affleck getting a bunch of shit publicly today.
Yes, like I said, it was just opening up the floodgate. Oh, do you remember when Ben Affleck did this thing 20 years ago or something? Thank you, Jesse Jess. Happy anniversary, Scribbles. Please use steampunk, vampires, fidget spinners, and midgets in my ad. steampunk midget vampires with fidget spinners. Okay, I can try that. All right, but yeah, no,
that could be what their fangs are, little midget spinners.
Oh, yeah. When I saw the Ben Affleck thing, I immediately thought that, okay, here we go. This is opening up the floodgates. Every grudge, every unreported or underreported incident is on the way, and Ben Affleck was just the first of many to come.
Well, this is the issue that I've been bringing up, and this is what happens inevitably with these celebrity cases, right? Is that you have people who are genuinely victims, who genuinely need help, who genuinely should have gone to the police, in some cases who genuinely went to the police at the time of the incident. And then you have to weed through all the bullshit that inevitably comes out of all this, because, like, yeah, justice for real victims is great and all, but so is a payday for anybody willing to say that some random Hollywood actor diddled them or said something mildly inappropriate.
Well, in this case, there's film of him actually grabbing some lady's breasts back in 2006 or whatever on an MTV show. Circus Zero, thank you so much. Happy anniversary, Scribe from Sarah Plyer and I. Add birthday candles. Sounds good. I'll put that on the list.
The problem with the video, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off there. It's not that this was a Weinstein kind of situation. I mean, because it was done quite publicly. It's how blatant he was about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you watched it. It was so cringy.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Ben Affleck, specifically. I just mean as far as what we're going to see starting to come out of the woodwork. I think it's going to, like I said, there's going to be truth mixed in with it. And if something's blatant, then it's blatant. But we're also going to get a ton of, oh, this person said this and it was rude.
Well, and this one,
all of it.
And this one wasn't. So if I remember correctly, the chain of events here was a follower on Twitter of the lady in question, Hillary, I forget her last name, but she's married to Jeffrey Dean Morgan now. A follower on her reminded her of that incident, and then she said, yeah, I haven't forgotten. And then it went viral. It wasn't that she herself brought it up or complained about it again, but she was reminded because somebody was eagle-eyed and all the other stuff. So, yeah.
Well, what we're also seeing, because there's...
Sorry.
Jimmy Kimmel's getting hit now, and his is for a joke piece he did for the show where he was having women guess what was in his pants by touching him.
Oh, Jesus.
And apparently at one point he told them to put his mouth on, or their mouth on it. And I understand the concept of humor. Do I think he was actually, sexually harassing this woman? She signed up for the skit, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it does come down. I mean, how many of the people that we're going to see had a problem with grab her by the pussy?
Miss Lamont says Hillary Burton. Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that this is just one gigantic new weapon for all the conspiracy theories and panic over toxic masculinity, sexism in Hollywood. I mean, this will be the rejoinder for anyone who tries to stand up against any hysterics. They're like, well, look what Harvey Weinstein got away with forever and ever and ever and ever. And I'm not saying, now let me get straight. I'm not saying there aren't creeps in Hollywood. I'm not saying that absolute power doesn't corrupt absolutely. Harvey Weinstein, like I said, he's just one of probably dozens and dozens of people in Hollywood or any other sphere of public life where there's a lot of money and a lot of influence and a lot of fear involved, doing things that they shouldn't, but getting away with it because of the fear of the fallout for accusations without any backup. But it's just going to make it, it's going to send a chill over anyone and anything trying to do anything funny that deals anything with sex. It's going to blacklist anything that might be considered, and I put that in quotation marks, as offensive or sexist. And anybody who says, well, wait a second, it's not that bad. It's like, how can you say it's not that bad? You saw what happened with Harvey Weinstein. It's going to shut every conversation down.
My problem there is that I already see the hypocrisy from several of the people that have been hit here. I mean, Weinstein is a huge Hillary supporter. He has been for decades.
Well, that's pretty fucking consistent with the way that Hillary Clinton treats victims of rape. Come on.
It's funny. It's funny you should bring that up, because I had a supplementary story to this regarding an interview they just did, an exclusive interview, I might say, from CNN with Hillary Clinton regarding Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay, yeah.
So just to give this, and of course, we can all sit back and say, yeah, but what about Bill, to every statement she says. But here we go.
Exactly.
Exclusive. Clinton sick and shocked and appalled by Weinstein allegations. Hillary Clinton said in an interview with CNN on Wednesday that she will donate the money Harvey Weinstein contributed to her political campaigns after multiple sexual assault allegations were leveled against the powerful Hollywood mogul. Oh, hey, Hillary, will you donate everything from the Clinton Foundation as well?
No. Fuck no.
Yeah, but what about Bill?
Thank you, Chaos Eve. Happy anniversary, Scribe. Can't stay long, but wanted to stop in and pay for that beer I promised you. Congrats. No ad. Have the night off. Thank you so much, Chaos Eve. I don't drink beer because I'm too high class for that, but I'll get myself plastered a night or two from now, just on your behalf. Okay, so let's see. Where did she? Clinton, in an interview with CNN's Fareed Zakaria, as part of her ongoing book tour, oh God, ongoing, yeah, how long is she going to shill that forever, said she was sick and shocked when she found out about the sexual assault allegations, first revealed in a bombshell report by the New York Times, and then further reported in a detailed report by the New Yorker. Quote, I was appalled. It was something that was just intolerable in every way, she said. What about Bill? And, you know, like so many people who've come forward and spoken out, this was a different side of a person who I and many others had known in the past. But what about Bill? On her donation, Clinton added that it wasn't possible to give the money back, but that she would donate it to charity.
But what about Bill?
But what about Bill? What other people are saying, oh, this is a quote again, what my former colleagues are saying is that they're going to donate it to charity, and of course I will do that, she said. I give 10% of my income to charity every year. This will be part of that. There's no doubt about it.
So she's not going to do anything different is what she's saying.
I was about to say that this will be part of that 10% you were going to give away anyway. What?
That's like saying, look, I was totally going to go to the store anyway, but you know what, since you're cranky, I will go just for you as a part of my daily trip that I would have been making anyway. All right, bye.
Thank you, Sylvanas. Just throwing money at a friend to say happy 1 year. If you want to do an ad, what we were talking about on DM over, yes, yeah, I'll recut the Chaos 120 ad in a clean fashion because I stumbled over it when I was doing it on the stream. Thank you, Sir Adamantine. Love you, Scribe. No ad required. Thank you so much. Let me write that one down. Chaos 120 ad redo. Okay.
You know, it speaks volumes about Hillary that Harvey never hit on her.
That we know of.
That we know. Well, she was appalled to learn of these accusations. Oh, maybe she thought she was the only one, and that's why she was appalled.
Yeah, she's a woman scorned. Man, ooh. Harvey, I thought I was the only one. Wait. No, hold on. I'm sorry. I got to read the rest of the story. Clinton said she had no idea that Weinstein acted that way in private, despite some in Hollywood saying that people close to him had known. Yeah, and you know who else had known? Like the people who wrote 30 Rock. Seth MacFarlane, who made a joke about it at the Emmy Awards like 4 years ago. This was not some great secret. It was just something that most people kept mum about who didn't have the pull to make an accusation. That's all. I mean, Seth MacFarlane didn't have anything to fear from Harvey Weinstein given his position in life, but anybody else below that level, yeah, they weren't saying nothing. Let's see. Quote, I certainly didn't, and I don't know who did, she said. But I can only speak for myself, and I think speak for many others who knew him primarily through politics. But what about
Sanguine.
Bill? Sanguine, thank you so much. The Clintons and Weinstein in a bumbling crime movie, a comedy movie.
Yes. Can I just say, though, whenever I hear Hillary Clinton saying something about her support for rape victims or her support for women and stuff like that, it just makes my fucking skin crawl. Like, if I were a victim of any one of these horrendous crimes, for any reason, the last fucking person that I would want going, it's okay, is fucking Hillary Clinton. She's the Wicked Witch of the West, and she looks like it.
I just wonder...
Comforting human being ever.
Well, see, here's the thing now. I can't obviously watch the whole interview here or anything. CNN has absolutely no journalistic integrity if they're not also asking her about Bill's behavior at all. That she can sit there and say this stuff and at the same time not question her about as much money as Bill has made, how much money that she's making off of her book, how much she has, insulted and or tried to undercut people who claimed victimhood of her own husband, and so on and so on. Why CNN is doing this and no one's... It's sort of like taking the guys who said that the Iraq war would be a cakewalk and using them as your military analysts, which they still do, by the way. But fuck, anyway, so that happened.
Yeah. Hillary already had to answer the "what about Bill" question when she said all victims of sexual assault should be believed, and somebody asked, "What about Bill?" And now she's having to do it again. Yeah. Why anybody would go to her over this is insane. There's no reason.
Well, to go to her about the money she took, yes. Yeah. But then not to then bring up the hypocrisy of her outrage now versus the behavior of her own husband. That's the problem. Even in that regard, going after her, asking her about the money. If you're going to ask her about the money, ask about all of it. Yeah. Because this isn't a $2,000 campaign contribution he's made to Hillary. He has funneled hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to this woman.
I will be right back, you guys.
Okay.
So this isn't just, somebody gave a local politician $20. This is big fucking money we're talking about.
Yeah, between individual donations that he either gave himself or rounded up as a fundraiser or funneled through super PACs in her name. Now, of course,
he was also a bundler for her.
Yeah, he was a bundler. Now, we haven't heard from Obama yet on this point, per se. But I wouldn't be surprised if he follows suit and dumps a bunch of money into a woman's charity or whatever soon, too, to try to make up for it.
I think Obama's just going to keep his mouth shut.
Think so?
Yeah. He's going to sit back and keep that money because nobody's going to ask him. Nobody's going to care.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. That's your prognostication. I think he's going to have to. I think he's going to have to follow suit after Hillary's had her say, because you get Hillary to do it, and then Obama comes out, and then Obama overtakes the Hillary story, so people don't ask about Bill. I think that's the strategy. Thank you, Terry Diamantis. Happy Scribiversary. Thank you, Terry.
Yay!
Appreciate it. Yay!
I'm so happy you're on the internet. I just want to say that again.
Oh gosh, you're making me blush.
I know we're putting it off. We'll do more sappy stuff later, but I've spent like half a year talking with you every night, and I couldn't do that to somebody I didn't like. So I am really happy you're here.
Oh gosh.
Don't make it gay.
Okay, all right. Well, and then in that case, let's talk about something that's rough and tough and manly, like Eminem.
Let's talk about trucks.
Let's talk about Eminem.
Oh, that's manly.
Nothing says manly like Eminem. And I just bring this one up because the headline caught my eye, and then we can move on to MSS News stuff for a few minutes. Eminem, a rare white artist, speaks out for his black fans. I don't even know what this is about, but...
you haven't heard this yet?
No, I've seen bits and pieces over the course of the day, but I had a really busy day at work, so I don't know what's going on exactly. This is from CNN and written by Kara L. Bolton, who is the founder of Unmuted Consultancy, a strategic political communications consultancy and online academy that helps individuals, communities, and organizations spark and drive change. So
That's a mouthful.
You're just nothing.
Yeah.
She is also a freelance writer and former political reporter and analyst in North Carolina. Right. So you're a pundit. I could found a consultancy firm and put all those words behind it, and it would mean just as much as the piece of paper I have it written on.
Yeah.
Anyway, she says, "Thank you, Eminem, for your video stomp of President Donald Trump at the BET Awards. Somebody needs to say aloud the things Black people have been saying to each other or muttering under our breath in frustration, that taking a knee was never about disrespecting the flag or the military." So you needed a white man to do this for Black people? Well, that's telling.
I actually agree with that statement. It was never about either of those things.
It was
true.
About money. It's true. It was about money. It was about... Yeah, if you're talking about Kaepernick, yes. For everybody else that followed suit, it was virtue signaling.
Indeed.
I consider myself a feminist, and your misogynistic lyrics paired with a dope beat frustrate me. I enjoy something somehow that I shouldn't. I don't know what to do. That's my interpretation. But on Tuesday, you spat out rhymes with a vulgar and sometimes elegant rage. You had me crushing hard on you with this line, quote, "From the endorsement of Bannon, support for the Klansmen, tiki torches in hand for a soldier that's Black and comes from Iraq and is still told to go back to Africa."
What?
I'm reading Eminem lyrics. Thank you, Corey Suzuki. Happy anniversary, Scribbles. Thank you, Corey. You won my respect because your video was the most prominent instance of a white celebrity defending the right of NFL players to peacefully protest the militarized policing of Black and brown neighborhoods.
That's not what they were.
So to speak. Some of your cousins, okay, all right, I'm going to start over. Some of your cousins, like Justin Timberlake and Madonna, owe their early careers to the embrace of Black audiences. Madonna.
Justin Timberlake. There were a lot of Black people running around singing, "Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye."
Was Madonna, am I forgetting? I'm thinking of like Material Girl. Was that
Like a Virgin?
Yeah, like yeah. Was that all very okay? However, they have been silent on whether Black lives matter to them.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Obviously, well, and obviously they don't. Obviously,
they don't.
Justin Timberlake and Madonna are genocidal maniacs.
Madonna hates Negroes.
Yeah, we need Kanye West and what's his name to stand up next to a map of Hurricane Katrina and have Kanye West. Madonna doesn't care about Black people. Or if they respond at all, it's with tepid statements that ignore Black pain while reassuring white audiences. If they respond, well, then why don't you quote them? Okay. Oh, she does. Timberlake came under fire after last year's BET Awards when, in a tepid tweet, he complimented Jesse Williams' speech about the exploitation of Black lives by popular culture.
Bastard.
He just tweeted about it. Oh my God! You know how weak a statement that is. I mean, God, heaven forfend if Sean King used Twitter to promote his ideas on things, or Black Lives Matter in general. Do you know how weak it is to use Twitter to express yourself? Yeah, I wonder if Kara L. Bolton has a Twitter account. I don't know. But not you, Eminem. Pale skin and black hooded, you prowled a parking lot, drew a line in the sand, and dared fans to choose between you and Trump. I'll give you credit for that. Okay, this goes on, and it reads like a rude article, and I'm done. So that's all there is to it. Thank you, Peter Silak. Hades 313. Happy anniversary, Scribe. Thank you, Peter. Would that be the real Peter?
That is the real Peter, the one that you browbeat
That is
one
the
night.
Peter. That is
The Peter.
The Peter.
Yeah, Peterbilt Nation is the other Peter.
Oh,
Peter.
Peter, there's something I have to tell you that's really important. And this is sort of like as my patrons thing. I've been working on the Volk Saga, and I got a lot of really exciting stuff done with it. Finally figured out a concrete direction. So, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I've been working on the railroad.
No. And I know Peter specifically will be excited about that. So.
Oh, okay. Silvana says, can you have the link? Yes, let me get that. Sorry, I'll get it 1 second.
I don't have an opinion either way about an artist giving his opinion on stuff. It's meaningless to me. I think, I'm not a big fan of Eminem's music, so this doesn't hurt me at all. I hate his voice. It makes me want to punch him. But I am so tired of this stuff being held up because somebody in Hollywood or some musician gives their goddamn opinion. It doesn't mean shit.
Right, like as if it means more than just Rachel on Twitter being like, this. It's like, oh, because it's Eminem, it means something. It's like, yeah, it doesn't. It's just like your grandmother shouting in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the link to that story in the chat.
And for the record, those lyrics sound exactly like I would expect from an Eminem song.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about Eminem until I saw that today. I can't remember the last time I thought about Eminem at all. I don't own any of his albums. A couple of his things were catchy back in the day, but it's like, whatever. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to MSS News for a few minutes.
Let me clarify that real quick.
Sure.
I don't have a problem with sharing their opinion. That's entirely their business. I mean, we're all allowed to give our opinion.
Yeah.
It just doesn't carry any more weight than Rachel from Twitter.
Well, we have sorry, I'll update myself. The question of whether or not Weinstein was going to face criminal charges. Well, CNN has just posted a story, and it's going to play a video in my ear, aren't you, CNN? This should almost be called, the stream should be called a year of CNN. Or at least 7 months of CNN. Embattled district attorney defends not prosecuting Weinstein and the Trumps over the years. The Trumps? All right, I'm going to make this quick.
Grab him by the pussy watch.
Yeah, they grab him by the pussy. Well, can I just... that drives me nuts whenever they're like, he admitted to sexual assault, grab him by the pussy. I'm like, did you forget the whole they let you do it? If somebody's letting you do it, then it's not assault, you fucking dim-witted piece of shit. Sorry.
No. Real quick, before you jump into that's something to keep in mind about that Ben Affleck video. As cringy as it was, she was playing along the whole time. She didn't seem uncomfortable. She's laughing and joking about it.
Well, she categorizes that as just like going along to get along because it was such a
bullshit. I saw the video.
I don't know. That's what she says. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know. But anyway, so Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance on Wednesday.
So when she pulled his head into her titties, that was her just playing along?
Oh, I haven't seen the video, but that's what, like I said, she says that she was just doing it to not make a scene or something, but I don't know I haven't seen the video. So if that's what happened, then that's different. Anyhow, and now CNN has put up an ad in front of me. Okay, why do that? You just blocked out me reading your article. Okay, Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance on Wednesday defended his office's decision not to prosecute disgraced Hollywood executive Harvey Weinstein or members of the Trump family. Manhattan? He denied specifically that any donations to his campaign had or would ever influence his decisions. Weinstein was accused of sexual assault in 2015, and Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump Jr. were investigated earlier this decade for allegedly misleading real estate buyers.
Yeah, that's what you need to know. God, I fucking hate the news.
Okay, I'm not going to... I don't care. Don't care.
Those two things are not related.
Yeah.
And this is just, hey, we're going to smear Trump.
Yeah, this is CNN doing this, and their track record is going so far downhill so quickly. They're a blog site now, and it's not even a very good one. All right. Well, thanks for the next 10 minutes or so, everybody. If you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. We will take a look. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but we'll definitely look them over. Thank you, Sweeper Steven. Happy anniversary, Scribe. And my ad is I want an action movie with Scribe as the president.
Oh.
All right. But you know what freedom he left me there? Do you see the ambiguity that he has unfortunately left me open with?
SDA can be the queen.
No, he didn't say president of what?
The Bondage Club.
President of the Bondage Club.
That's right. Action movie, president of the Bondage Club. Well, we'll see. I might
Can
do
SDA still be queen? I think that's really the window he was trying to leave open. I think if we're honest with ourselves.
SDA is queen.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So SDA is the living embodiment of Freddie Mercury and his band. You got it. Okay.
Yes.
This one comes from TOS.
I'll take it. I'm not that upset about it. I'll take
All
it.
right. Yeah, I'll give you a porn stash. It'll be fine. Illegal alien accused of murdering teen girl was in DACA program. Oh, boy. So this is Breitbart News. An illegal alien accused of murdering a teenage girl in Greenville County, South Carolina, was shielded from deportation as he was a beneficiary of the Obama-created DACA amnesty program. Daniel De Jesus Rangel Schurer, 19, was one of the nearly 800,000 illegal aliens shielded from deportation and given a work permit under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services confirmed to Breitbart, Texas. Schurer, as Breitbart News reported, was charged in connection with the murder of 18-year-old Diana Martinez Gonzalez after she was found shot to death in a wooded area in the town of Easley, South Carolina. During a press conference, Master Deputy Ryan Flood said the DACA recipient confessed to a deputy about his alleged murder of Martinez Gonzalez, a high school student. Schurer allegedly murdered the girl in the wooded area because she had spread false rumors about him, the illegal alien told deputies. They like repeating that a lot.
She was telling people that he was legal.
Police say the DACA recipient had also held another teen girl against her will, but that she escaped the scene. Schurer is now facing first-degree murder charges and should he be released from prison at any time, he will be deported. Let's see, and then they go into talking about DACA. So there you go. Oh boy. Let's see.
I hate stories like that because those are the ones that make me feel like you're kind of milking things. It's not. Most of the DACA people are not running around killing people. That's not the reason we need to end that program.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm not. This kind of stuff, I know it moves people because it's shocking, but it's not really a valid argument against DACA.
No.
There are much more valid arguments against DACA that actually address the policy itself. Whereas this is literally like being like, oh, a Christian killed a guy once. And it had nothing to do with him being a Christian, but it happened. We got to get rid of it. It's like you can make a solid argument against DACA without throwing this up as a thing.
Well, yeah, if the guy had been a known criminal from Mexico that came up here and had been somehow granted amnesty by the government, even though he had a record and was known or something, then you could have an argument.
Like the Kate Steinle case where the guy had been deported.
Right. Yes.
Right. Yeah. That one. Yeah. That one. Yeah.
Yeah. This is completely different, and I think it's important that, as tragic as it is, you keep a level head and you look at it as this is a guy who murdered somebody and probably would have murdered somebody no matter where he was or what his situation was.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here we go. We have from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. This sounds okay. This is both tragic and funny, sort of. Man killed by lawnmower in Southwest Miami-Dade.
How the fuck?
A man was killed by a lawnmower Tuesday afternoon in Southwest Miami-Dade. The incident was reported outside a home on Southwest 152nd Avenue. Yeah. Oh, they don't give any details on what happened. They just show up an aerial shot of a covered up body lying next to a large industrial riding mower. So I don't know. Doesn't say.
Did he get run over by his own lawnmower?
Or
I know you said it.
Someone else. Yeah, I don't know. So that's horrible. I mean,
Florida lawnmower.
Let's see.
Florida man.
Okay, this also comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Miami Dolphins investigating incriminating video of offensive line coach Chris Forrester. Yes, if you haven't already seen it, there's a video of this guy snorting coke and bragging about it and laughing into a camera, like right next to, I mean, it was on Live Leak. I watched this the other day. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know who the guy was, but I was like, oh, he's a line coach for the Miami Dolphins. He's in deep shit. And it was like he rolled up a dollar bill and snorted coke off the table. Or I should say, an unidentified white powder.
Yeah,
yeah.
People often sniff other white powders through money.
This is true. The Miami Dolphins are aware of an internet video that apparently shows offensive line coach Chris Forrester snorting an unknown powdery substance while at work at some point in his NFL career. The team is not commenting, but league sources say there will be an investigation about the video, and Forrester's fate with the Dolphins will be decided as early as Monday.
It
Quote,
is pixie stick powder, and you guys know it.
It could be. Yeah, and then they have a copy of the video you can watch on the story itself. So I'll put the link in the description in case people want to take a look at that video.
Since you're an English major, I have to correct you on one thing.
Oh, yes.
You kept saying offensive line coach. He's an offensive line coach.
Well, he's also offensive.
Can I say something? Can
He
I
is
address something in chat real quick?
Sure.
TOS said, SDA, you don't seem to get as vocal when the media only shows the college graduates as examples of DACA. I would say go watch my DACA video. I addressed that. Yeah, I get it. I mean, but the point is not what they do as individuals. It's how they got here, in my opinion. If you're illegal when you got here, then you're an illegal immigrant. It's not your fault that your parents are assholes and brought you into the country illegally. It really isn't. But at the same time, there's not much we can do about it. And how smart you are, or how good of a person you are, or how bad of a person you are, doesn't factor in to what I think about the program as an entity. Just to clear that up.
Okay. Let's see. This one comes from Fernanda. Prisoners walk out on lunch with Pope Francis. Okay.
Well then. 2
inmates from the coastal city of Napoli have escaped after having lunch with the Pope in the historic city of Bologna. Bologna, however you say it. I always say Bologna.
I say Bologna.
Pope Francis has long advocated for prisoners' rehabilitation into society. Yes. 2 inmates escaped during a lunch event with Pope Francis at the Basilica of San Petronio earlier this month. A Bologna-based newspaper Il Resto del Carlino reported on Wednesday. During a visit to the historic city on October 1st, the Pope attended a lunch with 20 inmates from a prison near Modena. However, before lasagna was served, volunteers realized that 2 of the inmates had left voluntarily. Really? Voluntarily? They weren't forced to leave or escape? Fearing the worst, the volunteers immediately alerted police of the escapees. Police have asked the public to cooperate in finding the 2 fugitives who have yet to surface after their daring stunt before the pontiff. Daring? They just kind of walked away, it sounds like. They didn't assault anybody or anything or whatever. Okay, well, there you go. Did I lose everybody or just quiet?
No, I'm here.
No, I'm just kind of like at that point, if you made it so easy, like you don't I mean, I'm just at this point, I'm like, do you really even have any room to go get them? Like, this is your fault. You kind of fucked up. And I mean, if they're not assaulting anybody, I think you just need to live with the fact that you're shitty at doing your job.
Okay, one more from Colleen Bernier, because this is just too funny, the headline. Florida man, our favorite of all supervillains. Florida man says, "I am God," then punches officer in the head.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd read that one because this guy, I'm going with he was high.
A Florida man was arrested after allegedly running through the streets screaming a woman's name and punching an officer in the head. Jacob Bortz, 19 of Melbourne, was described by police as flailing and sweating profusely when officers found him around 10:30 p.m. Saturday night. Bortz reportedly shouted, quote, "You don't know what I've been through. I am God," before punching the officer in the side of his head. The officer tried to use a taser on Bortz, but police said he just laughed and said, "I like the pain." Eventually, the officer tackled Bortz and took him into custody. Bortz was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer with violence, and resisting an officer without violence. Okay. Yeah, on something is probably the case.
Do we have time for one more article, or this would actually make a good deep topic?
I can stop here.
Well, what's the
article?
Yeah.
The article is the raunchy sex games young people really want to do, but hardly any are trying. This one also comes from Colleen Bernier.
Oh, well, let me find that here.
I have it right here if you want me to go through it.
No, sure, go ahead.
Because this article to me it's really stupid. I mean, look at that headline. It's what they all want to do, but none of them are trying it. Then how do you know they all want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did opinion polls,
Young people,
obviously.
millennials, are often talked about as boring by older generations. Millennials can't do it yourself, fix cars, or buy houses. And the latest cause of snowflakeriness, that's the actual word they use, snowflakeriness.
Wow.
Young adults are now threesome averse.
Oh, no! What?
Yeah, God forbid they're not. Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
no!
How dare they?
Yeah,
what the fuck is wrong with you people being all monogamous and stuff?
Group promiscuousness. Oh, no! What has the world come to? Or not come to, as the word case may be.
Let's be clear here. They don't say they don't do foursomes, fivesomes. It's just threesomes.
Right. No, they've gotten rid of the threesome and they've just gone on to orgies.
They've jumped right ahead.
Yeah,
anyway,
they went places is what they did.
Not only that, apparently they're interested in it and think the idea exciting, but they don't get stuck in. I don't know what that means.
Well, if you use lube, you probably won't get stuck in.
You won't get stuck. At least that's according to a new report. And although sexuality as a topic has become more common and open, with social liberation a true and just cause, research shows that young people are decreasingly interested in actually having sex.
No, I don't think that young people are decreasingly losing interest in having sex. I think that approaching someone, especially a woman, regarding sex is so dangerous now that it's falling off because guys are not willing to take the risk of getting accused of rape or harassment or anything else in trying to come on to a girl.
I don't think that's it, honestly.
I think so. I think so.
I do.
I think that's a big part of it. That's a big part.
As a guy, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Real quick, we're about to get into why they say this happens. Why these people are averse to threesomes. Okay. And I want you to guess why. Take a guess.
Crabs.
Okay. So there's the general concern about STDs. There is why millennials are averse to sex, or specifically
to threesomes.
To threesomes
specifically.
To threesomes specifically. It's got to be gender something.
Oh, you're close. Hang on. Here we go.
Yeah.
And that applies to threesomes. The study by the University of New Brunswick even found that openness might be tempered by same-sex stigma.
Yes, you are homophobic if there's two guys in the threesome.
You're like, yeah, your psychic is on point today. Experimentation is apparently influenced by fears of man-on-man, for example.
Mm-hmm.
For the research, the university asked college-age students whether they'd be open to having a threesome. Why is a university asking their students this?
All right. Well, to be fair, the only real threesome is two girls on a guy.
Yeah.
That's in my world,
devil's threesomes.
Yes, that's how a threesome would work in my preferred arrangement. That's all. So.
But yes, apparently millennials who are, I can't believe that they're actually pinning this on man is the problem.
Of course.
But yeah, I thought that article was interesting because it's stupid. It goes on to say that the university asked these people, or asked kids if they were interested in it, and a whole bunch of them said yes, and then it asked them how many are doing it, and they said no. And
so wait. Two men ganging up on one woman is a moral good?
Apparently.
And I don't mean ganging up like some kind of force thing. I'm just saying that
no, gangbang.
Yeah, gangbang between two guys and one girl, putting her on a spit, Eiffel Tower, whatever. that is now something that should be promoted, according to this
Got to
study.
spit roast the women to show them respect.
I get, and to show you're not gay phobic or something.
Yeah. If you're not gayophobic, you need to let the balls touch, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a nice segue into YouTube time, I guess.
Yeah, it's YouTube time.
Okay. SDA, what are you working on?
I'm still working on a video. It's like halfway done, but I had to go to the doctor and then I had class today, so I didn't get to finish it today. But like I said, Bay and I are doing, if you weren't here, we're going to be doing our 1-year Friendiversary book club stream tomorrow morning at the normal book club time. So, yeah.
Okay. Monkey, I know you did something today.
I did. I wasn't going to, but I actually sat down last night to watch Jordan Peterson and Camille Paglia had a 2-hour talk.
Ooh.
Just the two of them. And I started watching it, and as I so often do, I was doing other things. I was on Twitter, and Sofane had put up a tweet showing a comment from his latest video, which I hadn't seen. So I went and watched it, and it pissed me off, and I had to make a video about it. It was all about what happened at MythCon, where Christy Winters used a picture of from what's it called? VidCon. Thank you. Where a whole bunch of shit posters posed with the Kekistani flag, and she wrote an article for a site called the Akkadian Times about how it was Sargon of Akkad posing with neo-Nazi symbols.
No, not the Kekistani flag.
Yes, the Kekistani flag, and because there were some people in the picture giving the okay hand signal.
Oh, fuck me.
Yes. If you guys aren't familiar with the Akkadian Times, and I am not making this up, it is a site. I don't know exactly who started it, but it's one of Christy Winters' friends, and it is solely dedicated to harassing Sargon of Akkad.
Pretty much.
And
yeah. Like, I mean, it is. I hope to be that cool one day to just have that many people dedicated to saying naughty things about me, because it's not nasty things about me. Gosh, because it's the shit that said about him.
I need to amend that a little bit, because she will occasionally throw in an article against Bering too.
Oh well.
But anyway, Sofane did this video when he was overseas, and I forget where he'd gone.
India, I think.
But he had woke up one day and saw this article from Christy, and apparently Christy's always been cool to the guys from Poisoning the Well. If you don't know Sofane, he's one half of Poisoning the Well. You should definitely check out the channels. But they'd always been cool, and she'd even been part of one of their videos before, and he wakes up to see her labeling him as at least a neo-Nazi supporter because he was in this picture.
Yeah.
And I am all for reaching out to the other side. I am. You can talk to intersectional feminists and SJWs. You can have genuine conversations with people you disagree with. You cannot do that with Christy Winters, because she is a liar. She is a disingenuous twat. And watching Sofane, who is from what I can tell, and I don't know the man real well, just from the interactions I've had with him, is a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
Sofane is just about having fun. I've even seen him on streams where he was talking with people he disagrees with, and he's still just having fun while he's there. While he and Christy Winters are probably lined up a lot more politically, because he even says, he's a fairly liberal guy. Me and him would probably get together and have a better time in real life than him and her would, because he and I both understand the concept of humor, where she's just a hateful bitch. And I just lay out the case that she's a hateful, lying bitch. That was my video.
Okay. Let's see. So I reposted my very first video that I ever made to Twitter today, just for the sake of comparison, if nothing else. And I listened to it. I hadn't listened to it in a very long time. The audio sucks, but I can see the the seeds of what would go on to become my sort of routine, I guess, in that first video. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Otherwise,
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Anywhere in the video did you say "got it"?
No, I hadn't.
Okay.
I hadn't reached that that little catchphrase at that point, that early on. I can't recall when I first started using that regularly, but it was pretty early on, I think, at least in one of my TEDx videos, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, yeah. So today I found a little something. I hadn't seen this before. Let me double check because I want to make sure I know what recall what the organization is. This video was put out by the PCC Cascade Multicultural Center, and so I'm assuming it is a community college.
Sounds like.
You know, I don't know what the P in PCC means, but Cascade makes me think Northwest Cascade Mountains. So maybe Oregon. I don't know. Maybe it might be Portland Community College. That could be it. Anyway, I just came across this little video where apparently they do a word of the week. And what was the words of the week this week? Gender identity and expression. And they were going to educate me on what those mean. And I thought, well, I don't usually do videos on kids, but this is college, so they're not really kids anymore, so to hell with it. And yeah, so it was kind of I was feeling a little bit nostalgic for something simple and direct, like I used to do, instead of these long speeches and educational summits and all this other stuff. So yeah, I'm told about how gender is assigned at birth, how your gender identity and expression should not be assumed of babies.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. She said, you know, you looking at this baby, you shouldn't assume their gender identity expression. Like, oh yeah, babies totally have a knowledge about their identity and expression.
Babies don't express shit except vomit and poo.
I know. They, you know, those are probably gender identities somewhere on the list.
Probably.
Regurgisexual. Turtle cave gender or something. Yeah, so it's just a couple of minutes of being educated so I can be a good ally and not offend anybody, that kind of thing. And I just do my usual deconstruction of it. It was fun. It was a nice, fun little distraction for the week. I've got another couple of videos that I've archived to examine later. I'll probably use Sunday to our new Sunday off. I'll use that extra time to work on some stuff. So that's what I did today. Otherwise, and yeah. So there you go. Do we have any YouTube drama to discuss at all, or?
Not that I like. You guys don't know this, but the two in the chat with me do. Scribe does. I woke up about 15 minutes before this went to air, so I haven't really been paying attention to anything today. So I apologize for that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure nothing. If anything really, horrific happened, we would have heard about it by now. I think your video on that is probably the most recent stuff. Yeah. So.
Data Wasteland said iDubbbz's response. I did see that. He mostly just pointed out that Rice Gum's an idiot, which,
yay.
If you didn't know that already, there's a group of people on YouTube who really like idiots, and I can't tell if they're genuinely fans of them or if they like watching the fire burn. Oh, we got a super chat.
Thank you, Adacrat. Congrats, Scribe. Thank you, Adacrat. If you have a ad you'd like, let me know. I'll watch the chat.
For those of you just joining us, wondering why Scribe is getting congratulated, it is his 1 year anniversary. It is his 1 year anniversary on YouTube.
Yes, 1 year ago today, I posted my very first full length video. All right. Well, let's get into it.
Wait, before you start, let me.
Yep, okay. All right. Okay.
Let me speak for pretty much everyone here. I'm going to keep it short. We love you, Scribe. There you go.
Thank you.
Ditto.
So I've been, I've been thinking about what I want to say, because just about everybody who has been following me is either listening to this live or will be in the near future, who have been keeping an eye on me for the last year or so. So I started doing this because I felt stifled in being able to speak my mind on places like Facebook and elsewise, because, when you're trying to criticize or bring a counterpoint or something to issues that involve mostly your friends and family, and when those things go sour, that's a difficult place to be. I've been watching Sargon and Mr. Medicare, Jim, and Skeptalk, and Skeptor. Sorry, Skeptalk, you're cool too, but Skeptor was the one I've been watching. It was just by dumb accident that I was on Minds.com when that whole thing blew up. And I ran into Irate Bear, who just said, "Hey, I'm going to start a live stream. Does anybody want to come on?" He was just saying to anybody. And I was like, sure. And I went on to my very first live stream sometime last September. And like I've said many times, and I mean it completely facetiously. I know he knows I'm kidding, but after doing a couple of live streams with him, I thought, well, if this idiot can do it, I sure can. So I, gave it a shot. I'm humbled every day, and I know this sounds sappy, but I'm humbled every day by the feedback and the support and the well wishes and the criticisms or the supplementary information some of my viewers post onto the videos. A lot of people, like Irate Bear, criticizes me for not trying to broadcast my channel more or try to get a bigger audience and that kind of thing. And this might be a little elitist of me to say, but I kind of appreciate the organic growth of my channel without trying to overinflate it, and just let people who like my stuff stick around and watch it. If they don't, they don't. I'm not so much big on numbers. It's like, quality versus quantity.
You calling me a whore?
No, I'm calling you like ridiculously successful, and you deserve it.
That's because I'm a whore.
That helps too, I suppose.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I miss my channel being small. I'm not even going to lie about that, because it's a community of itself.
Yeah. The other thing I want to say, and this is a relatively recent development, and again, this is going to sound kind of sappy, but and it's happened again tonight, and it happens every time that I host a stream or otherwise. I cannot tell you how humbling a thing it is for people to give me money for this. I don't take that lightly. I want you guys to understand that. Of all the things that I learned from my father when I was very young, it was the value of $1. So when somebody donates $10 to this, I see that as at least an hour of their labor. If you're talking about like sort of the average, what people get paid. So doing the ads, I may gripe about some of the effort it takes to come up with these things sometimes, but that is my way of saying that I value the fact that you have donated money to me, which I never anticipated nor planned on making anything from this. I don't monetize nearly any of my videos except for the ones that are completely mine. And I am flattered every day by it. Honestly, every time I get a comment of compliment, every time that there's a donation, every time somebody, one of my concerns was when I started doing this, and one of my concerns throughout my life has been the danger of buying my own press. That my head would get swelled up or something, that I get all full of myself and that kind of thing. Now, I don't have a lot of practice in doing that. I'm one of my best critics, so to speak. I'm as self-deprecating as you can imagine. I'll tell you a story. When I was in second, this is how bad it is, throughout my life. When I was in second grade, second grade now, so I'm like, 6 or 7 or something. We were in gym, and we were throwing basketballs at the hoop and everything. And this is like second grade hoop, so it's like 5 feet off the ground. But anyway, so my gym teacher He's like, hey, take a shot, take a free throw. And I do it, and I swish it. I swish it. And he's like, wow, that was great. And I'm just standing there like, just stone-faced. And he's like, well, why aren't you, that was great. Why aren't you happy? And I swear to God, and I remember this like it was yesterday. I turned and looked up at my gym teacher and I said, I don't want to become complacent.
Oh.
This is a second grader. And I'm not kidding. I use that exact same phrase and vocabulary. I was a smart little shit back then too. But that notion of not wanting myself to get too full of myself, because I've always been scared of arrogance or wary of it, especially, the people that beat me up when I was a kid. It's really easy to mistake arrogance for confidence if you don't know any different. And I never wanted to be that guy. I never wanted to be that kind of person. So I've always sort of tried to keep myself level almost to a pathological degree. And that's one of the things I've had to try to work through for the last several years, is try to give myself a little credit. But at the same time, every time somebody says something nice or refers a story to me or mentions me in a post or whatever, it's a humbling experience. I enjoy it. I'm learning better how to enjoy it and sort of accept it as the compliment it's meant to be. At the same time, though, I just want to let you guys know that I don't take it for granted. I don't take you guys for granted. I make the kind of material that I hope you enjoy. I don't try to make material to pander to any audience other than myself, and I hope that you like it as well. And I could babble on more about that. But the thing I am going to babble on more about right now is just how appreciative I am of all the people I have met and made friends with over the last year. I cannot tell you how amazing it has been. And for anybody listening to this now or later, Irate Bear, Porco, Tailed, Ferg, Misa, Monkey, SDA, Amanda, Wolfchild, Based Mama. I could go on forever on how many people I have been so grateful and thankful to have come across in this little hobby of mine. Thank you, Cryptic. Congrats taking the commercial off. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And everybody in the chat, everybody who I've either talked to directly or just show up every night for us. Every night. I cannot tell you how weird it is when I tell people, the few people that I tell about the fact that I'm on YouTube, which isn't that many, we have fans. It's such a weird thing to say. And like I say, it boggles me sometimes, just thinking about it sometimes. So we have people that take minutes out of their day every night to listen to us and play along and take part in it all. And it's been an amazing year. I can't even imagine what the next year is going to bring. I never would have imagined I'd be on a nightly radio show with two such neat people as Monkey and SDA at this stage of the game. And so, yeah, I'm going to stop babbling now.
All right, I'm just going to repeat. We love you, Scribbles. I don't remember when I first started watching your videos, but there are people that I watch who cover pretty much the same stuff I do. It's part research and part that I'm friends with them and part that I'm interested in what they have to say. When I see your videos, it's a little bit different because you don't tend to cover the popular SJW topics. Yours, not to give you a big head here, yours are a little bit more cerebral.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not dismissing what I or anyone else do, but I would consider mine to be a little bit more pop than yours, which is you're like Teal Deer without being an annoying dick. And I really appreciate what you're doing, and I love your work.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've tried to stay away from, and again, like you said, it's not meant to denigrate anybody else's work or routine or anything else. I like things that challenge my brain, even when they are torturous to watch over and over again in order to make a video. And like I've said before, I'm more concerned in the big picture with the people you don't see on YouTube that much, or the people who actually in real life, so to speak, are in positions of influence or power, especially education or business. That is the subversive side of what is taking over parts of our not only academia, but our business culture and everything else. And that's where it's gaining its foundation to thrive further than what we just see through, like, you know, the personalities on YouTube, whether it be Steve Shives or Chrissy Ossity or Riley Dennis and so on.
Yeah.
That's what really
I will
concerns me.
say that your content, while it's the same genre, you know, in like the skeptic community, you do something that's different and you focus on different things that other people don't focus on. And I think that's something valuable that you do.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And you know, like I said, my one goal, if I had any goal in this, and I've said it since the beginning, is, if nothing else, because I claim no special knowledge or insight on any of this stuff. I could be wrong half the time. It's just me sort of taking it apart. But what I do hope is to do in some small way the same thing that Christopher Hitchens did for me, that Keith Olbermann, before he went completely bonkers, did for me back in the olden day. And that's just, I hope that, if nothing else, how I pick apart a video inspires other people to think critically, not think like me or just agree with me to nod and smile kind of thing. But when somebody says something, really stop and think about what they are saying, how it relates to what they've said before. Does it make sense? And then however you process those questions and the space in between them, to get a better, at least for yourself, a clearer idea on the world and the people who are professing authority to you on something. Thank you, Cryptic, again. Have a bottle of cheap wine on me whenever you get this cash. I don't generally pour wine onto men, but I will make a consideration in your favor in this case. Thank you, Cryptic, so much. Yeah, so anyway, if anybody has watched my stuff, and especially, and I think this goes for everybody, if anybody watches this stuff and thinks that they can't do it or they couldn't come on and make their own video, seriously, do it. Do it. I mean, the teal deers of the world say, oh, you know, the market is saturated with people that talk about the same stuff all the time, blah, blah, blah. Like I've said before, if a bad idea counteracted once was all you needed to get rid of bad ideas, religion would have died thousands of years ago. It doesn't stop. And you have to keep asking the questions and making the retorts. It doesn't matter which side of the argument you're on. The conversation has to continue, and there has to be an opposing side to either whatever it is. It just has to keep going. So if you think that you've got any idea, you got something you want to say, yeah, your first few videos are going to suck. They're going to sound bad, and the editing's going to be off and all that. You learn, you practice. It's totally worth it. I encourage everybody to do it. Thank you, Jordan250. Happy anniversary, Scrab. Sent you a tweet for an ad. Okay, I'll keep it private because we know that's our routine now, Jordan. I will find it and I will do it. So, all right, I'm gonna take a breather and not blab as much.
Okay. I do have a deep topic if you,
of course, go ahead.
Want me to jump into one?
Yep.
In my video today, I took a little shot at MythCon because, frankly, I find the whole thing to be a little silly. It's a bunch of atheists patting themselves on the back for being atheists. And that's fine, do your thing, but it's silly to me. And I mentioned at the time that I said that I am agnostic. And I've had several people very offended that I said that because, and it's kind of funny to me. They're insisting that I have some belief. That I've repeatedly seen agnostic what? One person told me that agnosticism is not on the axis of theism and atheism. I'm like, well, you're kind of right there. It's the rejection of both. Because here's the thing. Theism and atheism are both belief systems. Whether you want to acknowledge that or not, they are both a system of belief because you simply cannot know. You can believe you know, but you don't know. And that's what agnostic means. It means I don't know, so I'm not taking a side. I'm not going to throw myself into the belief pool. But my question to you is, why do you think a statement like that? I mean, me merely mentioning that I'm agnostic, I get so much anger from both theists and atheists for that. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just that hard for them, or do you think that they are just that entrenched in their belief system that they can't believe anybody would go, I don't want to play your game.
I think when you're talking to people who are zealots, for lack of a better word, on either side of the equation, anyone professing half measures is suspect.
That, and I think they, on both sides, when you're a zealot, either for atheism or for some kind of religion, you end up with a holier than thou attitude, and anything less than outright no fuck you or I completely agree with you is not good enough. Because if you agree with them, then they get to be zealots with you. If you disagree, then they get to yell at you. But if you're taking a middle ground, then they lose the game.
Thank you, Fireman 28231. Cheers, clink. Thank you so much. Apparently, everybody wants me to get like completely
They want you drunk.
Yeah. Thank you, Irate Prostate. Scribelight, you produce consistent, well-branded, quality-style content. I know what I'm getting before I click the play button. Thanks. Oh, thank you, Irate. Appreciate that. I do my best. I hope you like it.
Scotch says, according to Devin Tracy, I'm a porch atheist. Well, Devin Tracy is a believer. He has faith, and I don't. And that's his problem, not mine.
Yeah, I think so. Bill Maher said it best about atheism. Atheism is a religion like abstinence is a sex position. Until you start turning atheism into a belief system with intersectionality and everything else. I honestly think that atheism plus has ruined the term atheist, because now it does actually have a connotation towards an ideology of faith in things that may or may not be real. So when I'm asked about it, I just say that I'm a non-believer. That's about as close as I'm going to get to, whatever else. I mean, if you want to call that agnostic, it's not that I don't know, it's I don't care. It's like, well, I don't even bother with it. Like, I don't give a shit. It doesn't, unless or until it actually affects me directly and I can see it in front of me, it's a non-issue.
The only other time I've gotten this kind of response to something like that was, back when I was toying with becoming a card-carrying libertarian. And my only suggestion to them was that, maybe you work with, maybe you take baby steps. Because if you don't know what a real libertarian is, trust me, it's not Gary Johnson.
Yeah.
They're as anarchistic as you can get and still have government. The government literally is only there for very, very minor things. With American libertarians, it's basically a strict constitutionalist. Whatever is enumerated in the Constitution is the only thing they're ever allowed to do, and it is the most strict wording that you can take from it. And at the time, they were talking about repealing the 16th Amendment, the federal income tax. And I told them, it would make more sense to lower the taxes first, because we have a generation right now, and we've had several generations like this, who cannot conceive of a time when there isn't a federal income tax. And there didn't used to be. The country lived longer without a federal income tax than it has with one. And I was trying to explain to them, you have to reintroduce people to things that they have no concept of. People cannot fathom how you would still, have roads and everything if the government wasn't taking your money every month. And just me saying that, you should work slowly was blasphemy. I was a libercoon, for a lack of a better term. I was just faking it, and I guess I just don't understand.
Look at the core of it, I think, and whether you're talking about religion or this or anything else, people want to be able to categorize what they're hearing and what you're saying. They want to be able to put you into a box so they can understand you, understand where they're going to agree or disagree with you. This is why we have such, tribal thinking when it comes to Republicans or Democrats and all this other stuff. If you're trying to be reasonable, rational, not take sides on something, but just look at things pragmatically, or at least as logically as possible, people who are true believers don't know where to put you, and that frustrates them. Because, and I'll go back, Hitchens, as Hitchens has said, not that I'm quoting him like he's a Bible figure or something, but He says it best when he says, we are pattern-seeking primates.
Mhm.
We need to be able to understand the world around us insofar as it makes sense from our perspective. Even we'll accept a ridiculous answer rather than no answer at all. So when you say that you're agnostic, which doesn't give a definitive as to what you are, that causes syntax errors in people's brains who have no other concept than there's one side and there is another side, and ne'er the twain shall meet kind of thing.
Well, with that, I mean, I just had to point out in chat again, agnostic simply means you don't know and you're willing to admit that.
Yeah.
I lost my thought. I apologize. I was in the middle of it and lost it.
It's okay. I mean, that happens to agnostics. You don't have a belief system.
I know, right? Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. I just found it so weird how many people on there have told me I have to have a belief.
Mm-hmm.
And these, and from what I can tell of the people who've said it so far, these are atheists telling me I have to have a belief, and that just makes me laugh more than I can explain.
That's I don't get it either. It's also why I get kind of hesitant in trying to discuss party politics with people, or definitely not religion. I mean, anecdotally I know some stuff, but as far as it's like I wouldn't know what to say in a conversation about it because I don't hold myself or revel in one particular perspective over another. I mean, if you ask me about a specific issue, I can give you my opinion on that issue. Will my opinion fall on one side of the aisle or the other? I have no idea because I don't think in those terms so far as I know. I mean, maybe I have unconscious bias or something, but yeah, I don't get it either. I'm right there. I mean, I understand the psychology, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't share in it the way that the real true believers do.
This is one of those times I understand that it exists. I understand that that kind of thinking exists, but I can't quite wrap my head around why. And if you're looking at it from a perspective of theists, people who believe in God, whichever God that may be, I can get it from that perspective because that is a fundamental belief system where you literally believe the whole universe was made up in a way that a being set forth for you.
Yeah.
But when it comes to somebody who's, openly defying that, saying, I don't believe in anything, and then you're telling me I have to believe in something, it just makes my mind go, no,
okay. Let me take it from this one. It's kind of just a modification of what I said before. If you are raised on one side, whether you're religious or not religious, if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, trying to assess who is friend or foe becomes vital, because when you get into tribalism like that, the only way you can look at the world is through the polarized view of, is this person someone who is an ally or an enemy? And so when you come in some gray area, they don't know what to, like I said, they don't know what to do with it. Syntax error, because there's from their perspective, there's only two options: either you're religious or you're not. Either you're a liberal or you're a conservative. There is no in between. And anything that is in between, you're just lying to yourself. You're just being disingenuous. Whatever. They can't accept that there is just a medium somewhere, or someone who just thinks freely for themselves. God forbid.
Or just doesn't want to play the game. Because the only real answer to, in my opinion, logically speaking, the only real answer to theism is we don't know.
Yes.
That's why religion, it's called religious belief. It's called having faith, because it does take a leap of faith to accept it.
Yes.
I'm not deriding anybody. I'm not saying it's bad, but I mean, these are the words that the religions themselves use. It is a leap of faith.
Thank you, Chat Mort. The issue with the current dialogue is that most outspoken atheists, quote unquote, are more like anti-theists, hence the vitriol. Yes, there is a distinction between someone who is an activist against religion versus someone who just doesn't give a shit. Basically. Yeah.
And somebody brought up Devin Tracy earlier. He's the vegan gains of the atheism community on YouTube.
Although he does really good video remixes. I'll give him that.
I don't necessarily hate what the guy does most of the time, but when he gets into this, like where he badmouths agnostics because they don't share his faith, fuck him. Anyhow, we are just about at chat time. You want to start that?
Yep.
Or
Sure. Chat time. Chat. It is your time, as it is for the last half hour of all these streams. So if you have questions, comments, complaints, strange ideas you'd just like to hear us say out loud onto the air for posterity, as you tend to do, by all means, it's your time. Give us a question. And be sure to put plenty of question marks so we know it's a question, not a statement, and directed at us and not to someone else in the chat.
Alpha Omega says, I need some monkey advice. Well, what do you need advice on? Because I can give you advice on all kinds of things.
No, monkey advice, that's a dangerous prospect. Weeble says, I was an atheist because I didn't give a shit before it was a militant organization. Now I'm an agnostic because I give even less of a shit. There you go.
Well, this is one of the things, atheists are going to be mad at me for this. It's very much what Anita Sarkeesian was talking about when she made her everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out remark. What she is saying in that clip is that when you first get woke, you have to point out all of the horrible stuff you see. And that's what happens with a lot of atheists when they first reject religion, is that they become almost militantly atheist.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't have to do that. You can just, ignore people.
Well, I mean, and to be sort of cynical about it, that behavior is effectively virtue signaling. Just so everybody knows that I'm totally atheist. So everybody knows I'm totally social, whatever. Cody Fry, Scribbly, who's a better friend, Ranting Monkey or some dumb American? My right hand. And if you need to draw a line for that, what now?
The importance of a right hand. A right hand is
right hand and some Lubriderm. Just saying.
Oh,
what was the question?
Which of us was a better friend? And he picked his left or his right hand.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Well, I'm not going to make that call. That's not fair to anybody. I don't have
Instead, he made a masturbation joke, which I approve of.
Yeah.
Showing that I'm the better friend. Dun, dun, dun. I win again, just like the serial. A question here. Backscan said, here to give a rant about Goodfella being arrested for his tweet. Did you guys see this?
No, I didn't.
I heard peripherally. I don't know the details.
Irate Bear made a video on this. He made a tweet that says, I'm going to fuck it up here, but basically, where's the Muslim truck of peace when you need it?
Ooh.
And he got arrested for it.
That's fucked up.
What's he facing as a matter of that?
I didn't see the charges and stuff. I didn't actually watch Goodfellas video. I haven't had a chance yet. I watched Irate Bears on it. But it's the same basic thing that hit Count Dankula. He lives in Scotland, and free speech is just not
I fear for
respected
Tailed
around the world like it should be.
Yeah, I fear for Tailed if he ever is outed in some fashion. Jacob Jet. I'm sorry.
Real quick, let me repeat just one more time. I think America needs to put free speech at the top of its list of things it's trying to export to the rest of the world politically.
Yeah.
Period.
We talked a lot about free speech today in my political science class, just because we were all kind of sitting around chatting and talking about it. And because there are a bunch of religious groups on campus that keep coming up to people. I guess we just all look like we need Jesus or something, because I haven't seen this many Jesus freaks in one place in a really long time. So we were talking about free speech, and it was kind of like a couple of us who were like, no, free speech is absolutely absolute. And they were like, but hate speech. And we were like, no, all the speech. And it was an interesting conversation.
Let's see. Jacob Jet says, those who say you must have a belief are the same who say you must pick a political side. Pretty much agnostics are the centrists of religion, more or less, I suppose. Kind of.
Fairly. I mean, that's a fair enough comparison.
Let's see. There was something else here. Monkey, this is from Alpha Omega. Bridget the Midget will be at a local strip club this weekend. Should I go see her?
Not only should you go see her, you should slip her a $1 bill that says Ranting Monkey all over it.
Yeah, and put his YouTube channel or Twitter
Yes.
handle on there.
Well, let me rephrase that, because defacing money is a crime. Don't do that. Don't do that unless you. I mean, I do not support such behavior.
Post-it note on the dollar bill.
A post-it note. There you go. There you go.
Weebo Jones says, for your information, I became an atheist at the ripe age of 7 when my mom couldn't explain to me adequately where the dinosaurs fit into the Bible's timeline. Ooh. Sylvanus asks, why doesn't Tarzan have a beard? Very sharp rocks. Well, it depends on which version you're looking at. There's movies where Tarzan has a beard.
Didn't he have one in Greystone?
A Great Greystoke, you mean?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Greystoke.
Yeah, Greystoke. Yes, I believe he did. In other ones, maybe growing up in the jungle, just killed his facial follicles. I don't know.
Maybe he was intersex and he had a condition that kept him from having too much testosterone.
Oh, there you go. Corey Suzuki asks, Scriblight, is the pen mightier than the sword? When I can write a presidential order bombing a military target, yes.
The pen will always be mightier than the sword, just because any action comes from thought first.
Arcani Aurelius asks, Ranting Monkey, would you rather have sex with a moose and no one know about it, or not have sex with a moose but everyone thinks you did?
I would rather not have sex with a moose and everybody thinks I did.
Yeah, that'd be a funnier story, and probably less likely to catch some strange disease.
Well, plus also I'm one of those people who I know this is weird in this society, but I hold to my principles as tight as I can. And fucking animals is wrong, so I'd rather people thought I did than me actually doing it.
Tall person asks us all, have any of you seen Computing Forever's video about how Harvey Weinstein is being unpersoned? I saw the link to it. I think I have an idea of what he's talking about, where they're removing his name and everything. I don't know what his argument is otherwise, but as far as like the advent of him being effectively removed from everything, that's business.
I don't have a problem with them doing that to him.
No, I don't. It doesn't. I mean, you're a private business. You have a name attached to you that is now forever linked to sexual harassment and or rape and or a million other things that are probably going to come out in the next couple of weeks or months. I can completely understand why they want his name off of everything. You know, it's like why would you want if you found out that your executive producer went off and cut some girl's head off? I think you probably divest yourself of any connection to them pretty quick. So yeah, it doesn't bug me at all. Harvey Weinstein is not suffering any injustice in this regard. Let me put it that way.
Jack Cochran asks, will the war with North Korea be scheduled on SDA's night under the new schedule?
Yes.
As we mentioned, I think it was last night, this schedule also helps you plan your outdoor activities. You're going to want to be careful on Mondays and Thursdays. No, yeah, Mondays and Thursdays.
Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays. Weebo Jones asks, Scribe, have you ever tried being the sub? I've had partners try to make me the sub. That didn't last very long. But no, I've never tried actively mentally being the submissive. I've gone along with a couple of things where they've sort of like been aggressive, but it was never a matter of me giving in. It was just sort of humoring them, let's say. Scriblight, have you watched Blake 7? Oh God, Robert. the continuing running joke sin of no, I haven't watched Blake 7 yet. God, I've been asked about this for months now and I still haven't. I'm sorry. Tweet me a link and I'll remember to do it during the course of my workday or something. I'm always going to forget. Ranting Monkey, can you conceal a pen in your shirt sleeve to stab somebody? Not as easy to do with a sword, says Cody Fry. Or you can.
Kill somebody with a pencil.
You can't conceal a pen. Yeah, well, you need a pen that has a poison dart thing that comes out of it, like James Bond.
Oh yeah, that too.
Your boy Pat says, Ranting Monkey, love the video today. It was spot on. Thank you, Pat.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, Pat.
Some people have asked me if Christy has seen it. I think she has. There's a block of tweet that I can't read. I'm assuming it's her because the people who have responded afterwards, it says 2 Christy winners. So I think she's seen it, and I hope it caused her a stroke.
Alpha Omega asks, does this stream also come with Big Jim Slade? Yes, Big Jim Slade will be played by your boy Pat, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, your boy Pat will bust through the wall and take your woman because he's a better lover than all the others.
Jesse just asks if we would rather spend the day with J.K. Rowling or Donald Trump. And that's actually a hard question.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
I would like to spend the day with the president, no matter who it was.
Yeah, there's that too.
But I think I could have a lot of fun spending the day making J.K. Rowling as uncomfortable as possible. She is so touchy. I could make all kinds of jokes that would just make her hate the world. And as you guys know, I always go for funny.
Let's see. Nothing for you here says, did you know that thyme honey in tea is an effective symptom suppressant for the common cold? Yes, actually I knew that. Scott says, what is this land of Scots you speak of? Ask Tailed Feature. He can give you chapter and verse on the land of Scots. Robert Lang says, put Blake 7 in your search in YouTube. Yeah, okay. I'm lazy. What do you want me to do? Sylvanus asks, Scribbly, are you going to make a new promo ads for Lords of the Night with the new schedule?
We'll probably get around to it sometime.
Yeah, sometime down the road, maybe. I'm still in very slow fashion. I don't want anybody to think that I've forgotten about this. Working on Snubbers' sort of like giant movie trailer. I think I'm going to end up making it like one big thing if I can. I'm looking for. I won't say who. I've asked for some contributions of audio and video from a couple of other people. I'm waiting on so I can start gathering my components together before I really start working on it. So it's a work in progress. That's my next sort of side big project.
Real quick, Scott asked us why his phone lags when there's a super chat. I have no idea. You'd have to talk to your phone company.
Yeah. Let's see. Bobby Bob says, if we label feminism a religion and we force them to adopt the practice of vow of silence, would you be all right with this? And can we fix society without their crying? No, we need the feminists there.
Yeah.
We need them there. We need them talking. We need them professing their ideas and making their claims. You don't suppress that. Don't suppress bad ideas. They have to be put up against better ideas. That's freedom of speech.
I get your joke there, though. Making them take a vow of silence. A much better thing to do is to befriend a feminist and start dating them and fall into a romantic, consensual sexual relationship and just stick your dick in their mouth.
It's a dick in the mouth. Lucky 7 says, Pat is the Kool-Aid man. Have you seen Big Jim Slade?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the Kool-Aid man, but he's much better than that. Your boy Pat says, I love Harry Potter, but fuck J.K. Rowling. Yeah, there's that too. Love the game, don't love the player.
I'd fuck J.K. Rowling if I wasn't married.
What? Cody
Come on.
asks, what's the stupidest plot for a game that you've seen?
I saw that question, and that's so hard because I want you to consider something. Some of the most popular games have really fucking stupid premises.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog is a dumb premise.
Yeah.
It's a great game, though. I guess if I had to go with the dumbest, it would be a plumber saving a princess from a monkey.
Now, I don't have an answer off the top of my head, but if I was going to answer the question, I guess I'd have to find an example where the basis of the game is dependent on the plot and it is executed poorly. Because otherwise you could have a game like Monkey said, has the thin plot or no, just an excuse to do something. It'd be like a role-playing game or something that's trying really hard to make the plot important and they fail. Mm-hmm. I'd have to take some time to think about. I'm sure I can come up with an answer, but
Alpha wants to know if my nipples recovered. Yeah, and she was brutal the other night.
Your boy Pat says, I'm drinking Kool-Aid now? Not a question. No, you are the Kool-Aid man. You bust through walls and go, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, if only we could like have a video of like a big Pat busting through a wall, like a promo for his channel. Oh, yeah. Those big arms.
You should totally do that, Pat. Get those not styrofoam, cardboard boxes that look like bricks that they make for little kids.
Yeah.
Build yourself a wall and bust through it. Where did SDA go? I think she's still there. She's just muted.
SDA,
SDA,
are you
you're
still
still with us?
are you among us? Maybe she's tending to the dog.
Yeah, sorry, I'm here.
Okay. See, yeah, she's still with us. She's
Let's see.
Adrian
FA.
Bloom. Raping a feminist is called having sex with one.
No, nothing
Far
for
too
you.
many
Well-
cases.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked for Lacey Green.
And Mattress Girl.
Oh boy.
I mean, she got dick and now she's coming over to the sane side. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that dick's the answer to life's questions, but I'm saying
It's
that
the
dick might
answer
be
to
the
life's-
answer.
It's the question, or the answer to questions for women.
Scotch says, what is this land of Scotch you speak of was a Highlander reference. Okay, I've seen Highlander twice in my entire life. I am not a super fan, so I cannot claim to have recognized that. My apologies.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to worry you guys. I'm really sorry. I zoned out.
We're boring, I know.
No, I took my medication to help with the symptoms of what's going on, and it takes me out of it a little bit. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to worry you guys.
No, I mean, I figured you were either tending to the dog or you just, didn't want to talk to us. One of the two. That's fine.
Since we don't have a pending question, let me ask you guys. With the story we read earlier about millennials not having sex as much, well, we disagree on whether or not it's about men and rape and that kind of stuff, but do you feel bad for them? Like, you are a millennial SDA, so maybe you don't have an opinion on that, but as somebody who grew up when sex was fun, I feel bad for your generation not having more sex. I really do.
I think part of it is how oversaturated the world is nowadays with sex. I think it makes it not as fun because it's like kind of scary and gross with the way that it's portrayed, I guess. I think there's also a lot of added risk in having sex because it just socially, and not from the perspective of, oh, I'm going to be accused of rape, but just like if you have sex with a guy who's possibly maybe a little bit undesirable, it is so much easier for that to get out now. And I can see why girls would refrain from doing it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, discretion is not the better part of valor these days with social media.
Right, and I think that the lack of discretion is it's one of the huge problems.
So I think it might also be just, and sort of what SDA said, just the availability or the high profile of it. Like back when sex was sort of taboo, get away with it as sort of a mystery. There's no mystery to it anymore, so it's just kind of, it's more passé, I suppose. The thing I regret, and this is going to sound really sad, but it's absolutely true. I was if you can believe it, I was a sort of repressed wallflower socially for the better part of my growing up, even through my late teens. It wasn't until college that I started becoming sort of sexually active / aware, so to speak. And by the time that happened, all of this other shit started happening. So I've had a very stunted. I'm not a virgin by any means or anything like that, and anyway. I could talk like kiss and tell, but I won't. But yeah, I felt like hesitant to approach the subject or to date or anything else because of the hysteria over anything, especially when my interests verge towards the kinky. That has such a stigma on it as just a subject of conversation with so many people that it's almost an immediate red flag. And I don't want to risk somebody accusing me of something or having a bad experience and trying to approach anybody about it. So yeah, it's lousy. It sucks. I'm not even a millennial, and I feel like fuck.
Well, the reason why I say I don't think it's the rape thing is just because I am in political classes with other millennials, and we talk about this stuff. And the rape hysteria doesn't seem to really be there amongst the actual college students.
Mm-hmm.
It's there for everybody else, and it's there for a couple of people. It's not really there for most people when you actually get the students like one-on-one. And I really think it has more to do with the fact that it's widely available, so nobody gives a shit. It's not like it's mysterious or anything, or even taboo in a way. So like there's no rebellious aspect to it. And like I said, there's such a huge lack of discretion. that it's.
See,
I think that has more to do with it.
I think that makes me sadder because don't get me wrong, having sex somewhere you shouldn't be is awesome.
In the butt.
Yeah, newlywed game. There's definitely aspects to the I see the taboo nature of it and all, but sex itself is just fun.
Yeah,
I don't care how available it is. I mean, if I could be having sex right now, I wouldn't be talking to you guys.
Yeah, no, it's true. I'd be anyway. I could go on. Your boy Pat says, speaking of virgins, I watched The Last American Virgin last night and got reminded why I hated that movie. I don't think I've ever heard of that movie, The Last American Virgin.
SDA is an enigma. In what way do you mean?
Who said that?
Alpha Omega.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, maybe for personal reasons, I'm not the best person to ask about this, but I don't know.
Let's see. Sylvana says, "Happy 1 year. Love your faces. Everyone else see you at Chaos 120 show. Rest see you tomorrow. Love your faces. I'm hungry." I hope you're not hungry for people's faces because that's
right.
That's a completely different conversation.
Lords of the Night does not condone cannibalism.
Not tonight.
No,
Adrian Blom says, "Scribe just loves smacking a sub good." I do. I really do. It's great when I have one, but circumstances being what they are. Let's see.
Adocrat says sex is overrated. Just my opinion. That makes me. Your life makes me sad.
Alpha Omega said, "Love you, SDA." Like, I love you too. That's great. And I see you all the time in chat. I just want to know what you mean by that. I'm like not offended. I'm just curious.
Scotch wants to know if you've ever dated a MGTOW, SDA.
No, she turns them MGTOW.
Yeah, that's right. Chatmort says, "It's good for you. It's exercise and relaxation all at once, and cramps. It's a lot of weird thigh cramps. It depends on how you're doing it.
Just move. Stretch a little bit."
Pat says, "You haven't seen The Last American Virgin, Scribelite. If you like teen sex movies with a sad ending, it's a must-watch."
A sad ending. Now I'm curious.
That sounds like a horrible time.
That's a category I had not considered. That's a genre that I suppose is just beyond me. Cody Fry says, "I've been playing a lot of Batman lately, and when I saw the Turtle Cave comment, well, Turtle Man and Robin the Tongue Wonder. Oh, that is a porno I don't need to see.
No.
I really don't." Jack Hoggart says, "One of my laundry videos got knocked down to the yellow circle. That makes me sad." Did you know about Jack Cochran's laundry videos?
No.
He has and I've heard about it. I have yet to see it. I've been told about this. It's on the grapevine. He has videos on his channel of just a laundry machine going, like for 30 minutes, just nothing but just a still shot of a laundry machine going, like a dryer.
Yeah, I'm over here now looking, and you get a lot of views for a fucking laundry machine.
They must find it
that got
soothing.
demonetized.
Maybe they find it soothing, like just the sound of the laundry going, like calms them or something.
Can you ever see your underwear in them?
No, that'd be a underwear reveal.
The Jack Cochran is weird.
I love the.
I love you. I genuinely adore you, but it's weird.
Rayanna Smith says, "I lost my virginity at 9 to a vibrator, and I'm not lying. I believe you." Let's see. Repsion talking about turtle caves. Yeah, well, he did that the other day.
Yeah.
He was
Weibo.
Weibo did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weibo. This is why I like Weibo.
I said this before. I was thinking about this today. It would be a project. It would be a treasure hunt. But if we got the time codes and links to the videos of the other YouTube creators who have said their piece about tongue buttered turtle caves, I would love to make a montage of that stuff.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Got Sargon and Repsion and Jeff Holiday and Blair White and everybody else. Oh man, that'd be great.
And the original, because it is still my favorite, Bearing.
Yes.
He's losing his mind trying to find out what the hell it is.
Yeah. Let's see. Is Lady Monkey still here?
Yes.
Says Alpha Omega. Okay.
What's your favorite indie film? Asks Scotch.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I get it.
Well played.
I is funny. Actually, Last Crusade was pretty good too. Sean Connery's badass.
Yeah, I love The Last Crusade, but the original one is still my favorite.
What
it's
counts as indie though? Because I feel like if you're big enough to get a theatrical release at all, is it really indie anymore? Like, how indie does it need to be indie?
So it needs to be sort of off the beaten path and something that you're only going to see in an art house theater. That's what I consider indie now. Not a wide release, not a big studio.
Because like you could say that like Insidious was like an indie horror movie or some shit like that. I'm like, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, and like the first Paranormal Activity was an indie movie, like the Blair White, the Blair Witch Project, the Blair White Project, yeah, the Blair Witch Project. That should be that. Blair White should do that as a Halloween spoof sometime. The Blair White Project, like a big close up of her face and she's like crying out in the woods somewhere. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, I mean, if they're financed, here's the thing: it's an independent movie. It's financed independently. It might be distributed by a larger concern. But if it's financed through like a Kickstarter or someone using their own money or something like that, then it's independently made in that fashion. Studios control.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know if I know enough indie movies to even say.
Yeah, if Harvey Weinstein wasn't involved in it, it's probably indie.
You know that Star Wars, the first 3 Star Wars movies were all independent films.
Yes.
20th Century Fox distributed them, but they were all basically produced, created, all in-house at Lucasfilm by Lucas, more or less. So technically, I mean, even though they're gigantic movies, they were independent films free of the studio controls.
Star Wars, the original, is my favorite indie film. Thanks, Scribe.
We've had some questions about who's been gotten with the Turtle Cave thing. Yes, Jeff Holiday has. I don't know if Blair was.
I believe
yes, Sargon was, which was really cool to see Sargon because he was.
No, it was so funny because he was just like, "No, I think I land on the side of pro." Yes.
He was so
like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah, he was real cool about it. Bunty jumped right in with I'd eat ass. He was. I think he's the only one I've seen who got it right away. What we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of great ones.
Yeah, there's been a lot, and I can't count them. Most of them were like Sweeper Steven just jumping in and getting them done. So. Yeah.
And Poisoning the Well, they got them as well.
That's right. That's right. Weebo Jones says that Indiana Jones is her cousin. Are you talking like Harrison Ford is your cousin or what?
No.
No, their last names are Jones.
No, whatever. Everybody's named Jones. We got 4 minutes left to go, guys. 3 minutes left to go. 3 minute warning.
Scribe.
Yeah. 3 minute warning. If Blair White was to make a video parody of Blair Witch, it would have to have Riley Dennis as the witch. Yeah, thank you, Jack Ogden. That'd be funny. Jones. Do you know what the equivalent of the last name Jones is in the Star Wars universe?
Oh, I've heard this before.
Antilles.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
like Wedge Antilles and Captain Antilles. Yeah, Antilles is effectively the Jones of the Star Wars universe.
Oh yeah, and Sugar Tits. Sugar Tits had a great reaction too.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah.
I actually feel a little bad about that one because she had a bit of Brit on that day, and she's a little classier. Classier than most of the people who've gotten hit with that. And that's not saying those are low class people. I love them. Those are my people. Why don't you guys go until midnight?
2 hours is perfect.
Have you heard the ones where we just run out of shit to say?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, there's nights we could do it. Last night we could have definitely gone on for another hour, but
sure.
Yeah, for sure, because we had all the things to talk about last night. But and this is part of I think why we're like maybe going to 6 days a week is a good idea because it gives us kind of time to like reboot.
Yeah,
because coming up with shit to talk about every night it gets hard. Like,
yeah, the news helps, but yeah, there's a danger of burnout. We've been doing this nonstop for months now, shifting a little bit and being able to take a breather once a week. Just like God did on Sunday, they rested. I
think it'll also be easier on you guys to keep up with where we are and stuff like that. At least I hope so. I hope that it's a positive change for everybody. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and we'll fix it. But
sure, yeah, we'll try it out for a couple months.
For the record, God rested on Saturday. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, so we're not God. We're anti-God because we rested on Sunday, motherfucker.
I'm agnostic, bitch.
That's right. Well, by the time I get done with all this, we'll be at the top of the hour. So, chat, everybody in chat, all of you know who you are. Thank you for, these last like 7-8 months or whatever, how long we've been doing this now. As far as the stream is going, thank you so much for all of your support every night, as it were. Moderators, unsung heroes, thank you so much for keeping an eye on things for us, as always. Everybody who's either listening to this now or in the future or otherwise, thank you so much for making this year of being on YouTube so momentous for me and so rewarding in so many ways. I hope that the stuff I put out in the future you still enjoy, and let me know what you think. Comment section is what it's there for. Monkey SDA, as every night and throughout all these months, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for your support over the time that we've been friends over this, and I look forward to hopefully many, many more years together, whether we're doing this or other projects or just as friends on the intertubes. Yeah, so thanks everyone for the best wishes, and another year is on the way starting tomorrow. So as well, tomorrow we'll be on Monkey's channel. Yes.
Yep.
I just want to say I love you, and that's full homo. Just throwing that out there.
I love you too, no homo.
Okay, well, guys, I gotta shut the stream off now because Monkey and I are about to have some phone sex time.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm scared of threesomes. You're not invited. Night, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.